Hey, it's Alex from Motoroso.com, your dedicated auto parts marketplace. So you got yourself a brand new Wrangler JL and you're ready to do some of your first mods. Now, I am a little bit jealous, first of all, so congratulations on your purchase, but hopefully not jealous for too long because here at Motoroso, we are hoping to do a JL build soon. So you're gonna wanna subscribe to the channel so you can see those videos when they come out. Now, if you sprung and got a Rubicon, you've got some of the best off-road capability out of the gate of any vehicle available on the road. Congratulations. If you bought anything below the Rubicon, like a Base or a Sahara, you're gonna need to put in a little bit of extra love and care into your mods to make sure that you get that extra off-road performance that you're looking for. Now, I'm sure this is no surprise to you. It's probably why you bought a JL in the first place, and you know, any real Jeep owner's not driving a stock Wrangler. So let's talk about what are some of the top first mods you should be considering and some of the nuances to making those decisions. Now, all the mods that we talk about are available at Motoroso.com/shop, where you can browse over 500,000 of the top name brand products in the automotive aftermarket, sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and the shipping is always free. So let's go ahead and dig into what your first mods might be. The first mod that any JL owner is going to be looking at is going to be a lift kit. So this may be no surprise to you, but this is going to give you the extra ground clearance, suspension travel, and the ability to fit bigger wheels and tires. If you got a Rubicon, then with a simple 2-inch lift, you can actually fit up to a 37-inch tire, and the axles on the Rubicon can handle that. But if you have any model other than the Rubicon, the maximum tire size you're going to want to consider is going to be a 35-inch tire because the limitation there is the axle. And axles are a pretty big upgrade, so we're not going to be talking about those as the first kind of mods you'll be doing on a JL. So to get up to a 34-inch tire, a 2-inch lift kit on the Jeep will be enough. A 34-inch tire will have no rubbing issues with a 2-inch lift kit. With a 3.5 to 4-inch lift kit, you can then fit up to those 35-inch tires. Now, suspension kits come from mild to wild, so you can go as crazy as you want. And the better suspension kits are also going to include upgraded shocks. And that's our next mod. Shocks are one of the most important upgrades you can do on any vehicle, but especially on a Jeep, because shocks take a really wicked beating out on the trail. And this is one of those products that you really do not want it failing while you're out there. Now, some suspension lift kits come with shocks and some don't, and you have the option of upgrading the shocks or buying shocks separately, or whether you've even just gone with a basic leveling kit. Our recommendation is get the best shocks that you can reasonably afford, and definitely replace your OEM shocks. Some of the features that you're looking for in a shock is going to be definitely a larger shock body so that it has larger valves and can handle more fluid. This helps with cooling and control of the shock. If you can look for a shock that has a remote reservoir, this is going to give you even better cooling and more control over the shock. And then adjustments like rebound damping and high and low speed compression damping is going to allow you to tune that shock to perform exactly the way you want it to, no matter what terrain you're tackling. Now that you've got your suspension, ride height, and performance all sorted out, you're ready for bigger wheels and tires. There's no way you're gonna leave those stock wheels on now that the Jeep's higher, and your opportunities for modifying here are literally limitless. You can do any number of combination of wheels and tires. We talked about all the sizes in a previous segment. So we talked about the fact that on a non-Rubicon, you're probably gonna go max of a 35-inch tire, and on the Rubicons, you can go up to a 37-inch. But as far as your actual tires go, how do you choose tires? Well, one of the most important considerations for you is how much highway driving are you going to be doing and how much off-road driving you're going to be doing. Because tires can come specifically for off-road, but they won't last 10,000 miles on the road. They'll perform great off-road, but you'll wear through them so quickly if you're doing any highway driving. And then the alternate is true. If you're not going to be doing a ton of off-roading, you need it to perform once or twice a year, get a tire that's going to last on the highway and looks cool, and it should still be able to perform decently well off-road, but it's not going to be sticky, supple rubber that will give you the maximum off-road performance. So your job here is really to determine what is the combination of those two features that you need. When it comes to wheel size, you could definitely fit a nice big 20-inch wheel, but you're not going to have much sidewall left on your tire to perform off-road. So it's going to look more like what we call a mall crawler, which is fine if that's the look you're going for. But we highly recommend considering more like a 17-inch wheel. It's still a big enough wheel that you can get a cool wheel design, but it's gonna allow you to put a big tire with a nice fat sidewall in it, and that's gonna give you some of the best off-road performance that you want. Now, when it comes to the wheels as well, you're also gonna need to think about backspacing and offset. And like I said, this is way too much detail for us to cover in this one video, in this short segment, but we're happy to help. And I don't know if you know this, but on Motoroso.com/shop, we have live chat agents that can help you determine what size backspacing and offset wheels you might want to use to get the look that you're going for. With your suspension wheels and tires in place, you're ready to go off-roading. But now you're gonna need some protection. So rocker bars are one of the best mods for protecting the frame and body panels of your Jeep. If you don't wanna go smack those things on a rock and potentially total your Jeep by bending the frame, rocker bars are the way to do it. And they're only about $500, so it's cheap insurance. Now your Jeep is also taller, right? You put a 2 to 4 inch lift on it, your tires are bigger. This thing might be 6 inches higher than it was. Getting in and out for you and your passengers is not as easy. So rocker bars also often have a step included that helps you get in and out of the Jeep. And while we're talking about protecting your investment, you're gonna wanna consider a skid plate or a belly pan system depending on how extreme your off-roading is gonna be. Now this is one of those modifications that nobody ever regretted buying this modification, but a lot of people have regretted not buying this modification. So it provides a smooth surface for boulders and trees to slide across underneath so it doesn't damage any of your precious goodies under your Jeep and leave you stranded on the trail with a broken drivetrain. So there's lots of different options. You can get either modular kits or full belly pan systems, and it can be a little confusing at first. We're gonna put a few options in the show notes. Another really cost-effective modification is sway bar disconnects. Now, if you've got a Rubicon, you have a nice little button you can press that electronically disconnects the sway bar. So that's super convenient and you don't need to look at this mod. But if you got any of the other models of the Jeep, you're gonna wanna consider a sway bar disconnect kit. And it does exactly what it sounds like it does. It lets you disconnect the sway bars. Sway bars are on your vehicle to improve the street handling and performance of a vehicle, make it safer. Basically, it keeps your vehicle more level and stable through turns. But when you're off-road, you want almost the opposite. You want your suspension to flex and articulate, use the suspension travel over the terrain and the obstacles. So by putting in a cost-effective sway bar disconnect kit, you pull pins and then your sway bars are disengaged and you're gonna get the maximum performance out of the suspension and shocks that you've invested in. And one of your last must-have mods for your JL is gonna be a set of LED light bars. Not just because they make your Jeep look like a Jeep and they look cool, but because if you're out on the trail at night, your headlights just aren't gonna be good enough. You're trying to find your way home, you've been out a little longer than you thought. These light bars will turn night into day and help you get home. They're also pretty useful at the campsite. So grab yourself some light bars and all the other mods that we've talked about. Hope all this is helpful. Do your shopping at Motoroso.com/shop, where you can browse hundreds of thousands of the top name brand products in the automotive aftermarket, sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and our shipping is always free with no minimum. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all of our future videos. Thanks for watching.